Now, don't you guys just love the feeling when you see a trailer for the first time and you've never even heard anything about it and you're like, this looks so promising. That premise is so interesting. You see the movie and it actually lives up to expectations. This new film, Profile, fits that description perfectly. Hey everybody, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and I'm here to help. My service will be pointing you in the direction of movies worth checking out. So if that interests you, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I really do appreciate all the support. And so do my partners at Movie Scene Canada. Their link will be in the description below. They have a ton of contests on there right now, and you could be the next lucky winner. But today I'm giving you my honest, no BS take on Profile. So, we have Profile, and yes, this is a desktop movie, and it's actually the first one I've ever seen. I've never seen Unfriended, I never saw Searching, I never saw a movie in this format until today. And I watched it on my big screen TV, but you know what, maybe a laptop might be the real perfect place to watch it. But regardless of where you watch it, I really believe that this movie is fantastic. The reason why? One word: tension. This is one of the most intense movies I've seen in so long. Funny story, when I was watching it, my hands had marks right here because I was clenching my fists so hard. And that rarely happens. Now, the story is a journalist from London pretends to be a recent convert to Islam and goes online to figure out how ISIS recruits people, more specifically women. And then when she meets an ISIS member, she has a fake relationship with him to learn more. Now, that was the premise that I said, okay, I need to see this movie. I think that is a wonderful premise, and it lends itself to so much tension, and there's 4 reasons. Number 1, you're putting up a fake alias on Facebook. You know, she has to wear her hijab, she has to do her makeup so she looks a lot younger than she actually is. She has to make sure her dog isn't in the background, right? So she has to put up a ruse. And of course that leads to many opportunities where she could slip up, right? Does she have the camera on when she doesn't realize it? Does she send a message to the wrong person using the wrong account? A lot of things can go wrong there, which adds one level of tension to the movie. Not to mention that, you know, when you put something online, people can find out who you really are, where you live, your credit card number. People can find this stuff. Number 2 is that she is a journalist and she's doing all this for a story, so she has to deal with that aspect of it. You know, having to make sure that all the interactions are recorded, and then of course, you know, disk space full, having her editor and her IT guy constantly messaging her when she's talking to the ISIS member. So it's the stress of dealing with her boss and her IT guy and her job when she's trying to go undercover at the same time, right? Like, you guys know when you guys are in a FaceTime call and then your boss starts to call you or people start to interrupt you. There's the added tension of that as well. Thirdly, she's not just talking to anyone. She's talking to a member of ISIS, so that goes without saying. But the really tense part is not knowing what his true motivation is. Does this guy really love her? Or is he just saying these things to try to trick her to come to Syria, and then who knows what will happen to her? But the most tense part of all is that our main character, Amy Whitaker, going undercover, she might start to question what side she's really on. So like Fast and the Furious, like Avatar, like Point Break, and even Mean Girls to a certain extent, our main character infiltrates a certain group to try to learn their ways, but then they start to realize, you know, maybe I actually belong here as opposed to my old position. Maybe these guys are the good guys. Maybe I was the bad guy all along. She starts to question things, and that's when it gets really tense. But here's the kicker. All of these moments are presented to us through a desktop. And I think telling this story, which was a true story by the way, in this format is genius. Because I'm gonna go out on a whim here and say that most people who watch this movie have never been to the Middle East, have never been a journalist for a big news corporation or a big newspaper, and they've never talked to an ISIS member. So those are 3 things that not many people can relate to. But what's one thing that everyone can relate to? Having tense moments on their desktop or on their phone. Whether it be emailing your boss, flirting with someone on Tinder, or buying a bunch of crap on Amazon that you don't need and you're like, oh shit, I just spent $500. We can relate to having tense moments in that environment. Bring this story of trying to go undercover and talk to an ISIS member into that environment. The story becomes way more relatable. We feel more vulnerable in that state, and that is why this movie is so tense. And I'll be honest with you guys, this might not be a multiple viewing type of movie. There are some movies that I believe you can only watch once, or only need to watch once. And I will admit, this movie might not have the rewatchability as, say, a Lord of the Rings or some major blockbuster or some other thriller. But only time will tell with that, and I can tell you guys, for my one viewing of this movie, I loved it. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I really love it when I give out this rating. I know it's a good day, and I've watched a film that really impacted me. Profile really impacted me, and I really hope it impacts you too. So let me know, guys, what did you guys think of this movie when you do see it? And also, have you seen any other desktop movies? Let me know your favorite down in the comment section down below. And as always, if you're new here and you want to see more videos just like this, then definitely hit like and subscribe. I really do appreciate all the support. I take none of you guys for granted, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.